At the age of 6 in Cuba, I was overjoyed when the ice cream vendor gave me change for a peso and filled my hands with shiny coins. I was so excited, I ran to my mother and I showed her what I had. She asked me, "Did you say gracias?" Grace and gracias come from Latin. The word grace comes from the idea of God giving virtue to what you're doing. It comes from the divine. Now, at age 6, I had no idea that gratitude comes in many flavors. But since then, I have evolved into understanding that there are 5 dimensions of gratitude. The first one is simplicity. The very simple act of giving thank you, a thank you note, right? The good manners that our parents taught us. There's the gentle kiss or the flower gesture that a child innocently gives to an adult. But the bad side is this, the emojis, the way we are now defaulting to a different way of saying thank you, to the very, very quick, very gratifying way of hearts and kisses and thank yous and emojis, when the voice, the thank you that comes from the heart means so much more. Gratitude in the face of adversity. If you've ever had a close call with drowning, you know that the lifeguard is someone you will thank for the rest of your life, right? Or the firefighter who pulls you out from a raging fire in a car, right? All these are things that we as human beings, for the sense of survival and preservation, we thank those who made our lives possible. Now, in the face of a devastating catastrophe like a fire that burns up all your belongings, a friend of mine went through this with the California fire. What he found was most valuable to him was having a toothbrush. The simple, very simple idea of gratitude for the toothbrush. Now, gratitude, when it's combined with generosity, is particularly magnificent. This old woman in Appalachia, very poor, she was asked, "What would you do if you won $1 million?" And she said, "I would give it away to someone who needs it more than I do." Speaking of giving away, this gentleman, Mr. Feedy, was a billionaire who lived his entire life to collect a fortune of $9 billion, which he methodically gave away before he passed recently. He believed that that was the obligation of someone, to share the wealth with others. Now, it can feel really good to give away money, because in this case, we're talking about a $1,000 club. During the pandemic, 10 business people decided that they wanted to make the servers feel special. So they decided they would go to a different restaurant for breakfast and leave a $100 tip for the waiter anonymously. Acts of kindness really reward the giver as much as the receiver. It's the lens through which we see what's in someone's heart and feel their pain. It gives us a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging to a greater cause. And that is where gratitude has its sweetest spot. Then we have appreciation and all its forms of appreciating every moment, everything, every person, nature, everything around us, the contemplation that comes from being aware and present. It is the satisfaction of being part of a larger whole. Now, when we look at the mirror and you appreciate yourself, that's one thing. But then when you share that appreciation with others, it multiplies. Try this next time you're in a traffic light or in just a traffic jam. Put your head out the window and look at yourself and say, "I love you. You're special. I appreciate you." Because our primates and our animal friends, furry friends, love to appreciate each other by sharing the affection, taking the little bugs off their fur. But this is their way of creating bonding, because gratitude makes strangers into friends and neighbors into allies, just as Fred Rogers did. He lived his life, and his body of work taught us that by loving and appreciating your neighbor, you're creating something sacred. The neighbors, the friends, those bonds are absolutely irreplaceable. The 5th dimension of gratitude is the divine. How we connect with higher power. What inspires us to know that there's something more? There's something for which we need to live for. There's a purpose. There's a path that is illuminated for us if we believe that the divine guides us. How do we connect with that? How do we live in gratitude? Well, Thich Nhat Hanh gave us a clue. He said, walk in mindfulness as if you're kissing the earth with your feet. Take in a breath. A breath is a gift. That gratitude fills you every moment. Now, you may be saying, this is bunk. I don't believe this. This sounds nice, but in real life, it doesn't matter. I'd rather do my emojis and thank you, everybody. There's brain science, irrefutable, that gratitude makes the brain function better. It cuts down on cortisol and it ups our dopamine, which makes us happy. So, happy people, we know, are happier. They live longer. They're more humble. They have greater bonds to society. They are more prosperous. They forge communities that give them belonging. Now, if you are feeling angry, you're not being grateful. If you're feeling vengeful, jealous, you're not being grateful. If you are feeling less than, or if you're not enough, you're not being grateful. If you're like those two women who were not being grateful. Now, my parting thoughts to you is that if you think about that every moment, every breath is a prayer, and if you follow Meister Eckhart's advice, the theologian, if the only prayer you said was thank you, that would be enough. Thank you.